I don't even know what the fuck that means. That's the most retarded shit I ever heard. Mentally. That's fucking mentally retarded as far as I'm concerned.
Nate can only count to 5. Okay. Count to 5, Nate, will you, if you can? Sorry, one more time?
All right, he's done.
You are smart. You taught fighters a lot, man.
Hey, Nate, quick question here. You know, we had Dana up here.
The DSM-5 classifies autism as a neurodevelopmental condition characterized by difficulties with communication, obsessively fixated interests, and abnormal sensory experiences. In this video, we will analyze Nathan Diaz for these traits and see if he meets the criteria for autism spectrum disorder. People with autism will avoid making direct eye contact from the person they are talking to, as Nate does frequently in his interviews. It also appears he needs extra processing time to gather his thoughts before answering. This makes reciprocal conversation difficult, usually resulting in either blank silence or a long-winded monologue that only makes sense to the person with autism. Listen to Nate's response to a question from Brett Okamoto about the second Conor McGregor fight.
What should have happened after the second fight? I mean, they had a plan for him, obviously, right? What should the plan have been for you?
Remember, originally it's like the machine. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? The machine fed that to the world. When I was younger, I remember Dana White flying me out when I was a youngster. I won the Ultimate Fighter. I tapped out everybody on the show. I don't think anybody's ever done that. Dude, come on. Look, I was 21 years old. I went on that show. I tapped out all these guys, smoked the show. Then I went and I fought like 3 black belts in jiu-jitsu at the purple belt. I fought like 3 black belts. I was like, dude, give me some contenders. I ain't playing. I don't need no baby like you're doing. They gave me Josh Neer, who was the top contender at the time. And he was so I'm like already 8-0 and you see Dana White's flying me out like, hey, come on, let's play poker and do this and that. And he took me out there. I'm just a kid. I'm in Vegas with Dana White in a Ben Davis jacket like, what's up? What are we about to do? I'm like, okay. So then he said to me, he flew me out to Boston one time and everybody was there. Diego Sanchez and Everlast, remember Everlast?
Yeah.
The singer and a bunch of... What's that band that does Jump Around? Is that Everlast? Jump Around. Some people need to talk to little young like me, but everybody else is from college nowadays, so they know what. And then they started giving me losing this funny decisions. About Roy McDonald and Don Young Kim at 170, but where I'm a little kid, I'm like, they're like, Dana White learned, you want to fight him middleweight, and I'm like, he had just beat Condit, I think, Roy McDonald. Did he beat Condit or lose to him? Mm-hmm. Did he beat him? That fight was even the whole time. I was winning, most likely. And then he slammed me, and now that's what people remember, that he slammed. I was like, hold up, watch that fight. That's a competitive fight. Lost, I'm like, okay. And then I got smaller when I went up, so I was like, I gotta go back to lightweight. Then she wasn't right. I'm like, I'm fighting for a title for this, for pennies. I don't even want to do this fight. But I'm signed up, so let's go. First of all, I'm a G, so I'm going to go fight this dude real quick. The Santos fight, didn't train a day, hurt myself. I'm like, I got bills to pay, though, so I'm about to do this. Mm-hmm. So I trained, I fought him. I don't even know who else I fought afterwards. I'm winning the series. This is what it started. I'm winning the series.
Nate repeatedly exits interviews and press conferences abruptly. This is played to the crowd as his gangster persona, but it is more likely a form of autistic elopement. When people on the spectrum are overstimulated in a given moment, they will look to leave that environment as quickly as possible, without regard to the social implications. Either way, his disdain for conversation is quite evident.
But turned into something of like a white whale when it comes to MMA interviews, you know that?
I don't know what a white whale is. No one knows what gazelle is anyway. It's America, get it right.
You know how it is. You do a full camp, and then all of a sudden by the end of that camp, you're like a genius in your head.
Here, Nate claims to not knowing what either a white whale or a gazelle is, while also boasting of his intellectual prowess for fighting. This is very fitting with people on the spectrum who can have genius understanding in one discipline but alarming ignorance of basic facts in another. Nate demonstrated his savant-like fighting abilities in the first fight with Conor McGregor. Knowing Conor would try to take him out early, he reserved his energy for the later rounds while McGregor was putting large amounts of explosive power behind his attacks for a quick finish. Fighting from a low and powerful southpaw stance, his choice of techniques were a combination of wide-reaching punches and powerful spinning hook kicks. His tactical approach was heavy pressure early on with these techniques. This was an awful approach to the fight for Conor McGregor, both technically and tactically. This caused him to fatigue quickly, allowing Nate to put the pressure on him earlier than expected and absorb Conor's attacks. Finally catching Conor with his patented 1-2, the realization of panic forced Conor into a desperate reactive shot in order to halt the attack. In a beautiful transition from a high elbow guillotine to a cross-face inverted north-south side control, that was all it took for Nate to get the dominant position. In his continued desperation, Conor relinquishes the back position to give Diaz the rear naked choke. Listen to how Nathan eloquently breaks down this progression of the fight.
I know I was gonna have a slow first round, and then when it started turning around, I saw the beginning and the end, and I was like, I started telling him, I was like, "Ooh, you ate that shit, and it's gonna get worse from here, huh?" And then all of a sudden in the first, because he was quick and he had his things to say. It's all right. Next round, I'm gonna be there too. It came quicker than I thought, and when I started landing shots, I was like, "This is a wrap." And how his punches I started smothering his punches, and they started easing up, and I was like, and then I had him on the cage, and I was like, "You don't have shit to say now, do you?" And then I put a knee in his stomach, and I heard him go, "Huh," and I was like, "Yeah, this is good, and then all of a sudden he's shooting. "Oh, you're a wrestler now. You're a wrestler." I remember I'm the black belt in jiu-jitsu, so me and you know that this is a wrap. This is a wrap.
Couldn't have said it better myself, and overall an amazing display of fight IQ. Martial arts can be very helpful for people with autism spectrum disorder. It provides a healthy outlet as far as narrow interests go, as well as a release of stored physical energy. This release is known as stimming in the autism community. This is demonstrated in seemingly random moments of erratic physical movement, such as hand flapping or spinning. It can also be exhibited through other more controlled physical expressions like shadow boxing and running. Nate is known for being a frequent runner of marathons. I can't think of anything more autistic than staring straight in front of yourself, running for hours at a time.
I got kicked out of school for fighting and selling weed. And now, for a professional career, I'm fighting and selling CBD.
Self-medicating is a very common pattern reported among people on the autism spectrum. THC and CBD can help with a range of issues such as obsessive thoughts, anxiety, overstimulation, and insomnia. Nathan's use of cannabis has been well documented throughout his career.
Warming up in my head and I'm ready to do so. I think it helps me get through my day.
It is also well known in the martial arts community that Nate Diaz is a vegetarian.
Are you not a vegan, are you?
Yeah, but I'm not like vegan like that.
You're not vegan like that.
I'm vegan because I messed up my diet, my fucking, the way my body worked. I'm not like a... And then so I'd go back and I'd like have some tri-tip with the homies at a barbecue and eat a bunch of real stuff. And then afterwards I was like, let's have some meat. And then I'd eat some meat and then my stomach would get all jacked up.
He asserts it is due to the health benefits of not eating modern meats, but it could perhaps be a sensory issue as well. I personally know people on the spectrum who go through phases of not liking meat due to its robust and chewy texture. All in all, I am not a trained professional, and you should always consult with a physician when seeking a diagnosis. Many people on the spectrum have went undiagnosed for a long time, but they do not have awesome martial arts skills to get rich and famous. I am personally a fan of Nate and glad he found a way to channel his special interests into a way to be profitable. He is one of the most legendary fighters of all time and deserves all the credit he gets. Let me know if you think Nate Diaz is autistic or not, and subscribe to the channel for more autistic fight breakdowns.